What do paintbrushes have to do with outdoor recreation? Well, today on AYL, we're going to show you. I'm Stephen Human. Follow me to one town with a lot to offer for every taste, from beauty to recreation to art. Then Darren Kinder discovers a new riding experience with outdoor icon Bruce Steadman as they find stories and snow in the Vernon Mountains. Last but not least, Reece Stein is reporting from Morocco as he explores the Sahara Desert and finds out why a trip to northern Africa may just be the perfect blend of culture and adventure.
Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Darren Kinder, and we are here just south of Vernon, Utah, and we decided to bring our razors out and our side-by-sides and come play in the snow. And I have Bruce Steadman and Greg Thompson from Steadman's Recreation in Tooele, and Bruce has been out here his whole life. In fact, most of the bobcats and coyotes out here know him by name. And don't they?
Well, yeah, they know me. That's why they run.
They see that red hat and they're gone. So that's why we haven't seen one today. And he's kind of showing us all the fun things to look at and the trails to come out here and play on and explore. Bruce, could you tell us a little bit more about these?
Well, there's this road here, and there's 3 or 4 on that side, and that one back there goes clear over to the sand dunes, and there's roads everywhere, especially in this summer. In the winter, you're going to get stuck because there's snow out here, but it's fun to play in it. But there's plenty of places to play.
Well, that's great. Let's find out a little bit more of what there is to do out here.
We're lost in the Vernon Mountains. We're not really lost because I know exactly where we're at. We're above the Vernon Reservoir on the right fork, going into the upper mountains, and there's lots of trails going every which direction up here. In the summer, you can come up here with ATV rides, and these roads are open all over the place. You can actually get up the top and actually see the sand dunes from the top up here. You go right out of Tooele to Stockton. You go to Stockton, there's a junction out there that heads back to Utah Valley. You don't take that one. You take the right fork, headed to Vernon. When you get to Vernon, there's going to be a little cafe there. You'll see a dirt road heading south. And there's a big area you can park, and you'll see rigs camped there, park there. And just take that road and head out on the dirt road. It's going to be about, I guess, probably about 5 miles up there, wasn't it? There's fish in this creek down here. Little browns, they're hard to catch, but if you sneak up on them, you can catch them, and they're pretty decent fish. And down in the reservoir, they stock it. So there's some decent fish in the reservoir and a good campground down there. But it's also a really good place to come and ride ATVs. They're roads, you know, they're approved roads, BLM roads and Forest Service roads. So stay on the roads, and they're lots of fun. You come up here in the snow like we have, that's a lot of fun. You go to get stuck like we did, and then make sure you have at least 2 people and a tow strap to help you get out, because once you break through that crust, you're stuck. And that's the way it is. Plenty of roads. They go both west and east. You come up this main road, there's trails that go off to the east too. So it's not just one. I don't know how many miles there is, but I'm guessing probably 100 miles if you went on all these roads. Oh, it's gave my family so much fun that you can't even visualize it. We wonder what we'd have done if we wouldn't have had this recreational sport, because we used to ride motorcycles up here, and then of course they made ATVs, then we done ATVs, then they make side-by-side. As I get older, I kind of like steering wheel. You know what I mean. You'll know what I mean in a few years.
Well, out here in Tooele County, there are absolutely a ton of trails to come out here and play on. And in the spring is a great time to get out here and enjoy it, because, yeah, you might run into some snow, you might run into some mud, but that makes it all that much more fun. And it's been great having Bruce out here, because he's been able to show us tracks. He's been able to show us, you know, oh, if you go over that ridge, there's this or that. And so that makes it that much more fun. But right now we need to get to our travel adventure.
It's been said that life imitates art. The brushstroke of a painter, creating worlds that will be mirrored in the scene outside his gallery window. Such is the case in Helper, Utah, a small town off Highway 6 in Carbon County that has become a work of art unto itself, where splashes of color paint an image of rich culture, beauty, history, and recreation.
Helper was named for the trains that assisted in moving the coal up the canyon. We used to be a mining and railroad community. When people come here, they're absolutely awestruck by just the beauty of the area. Our high mountain desert, our plateaus, we're second to none. We have abundance of wildlife.
We, of course, are a Heinz 57 community. We've got over 30 nationalities, and when the immigrants came here, there were 27 different languages spoken. And many of them had these artistic traditions. In 1940, we were one of 4 places in Utah that was selected as an art center by the WPA, the Works Progress Administration.
That early embracing of the arts still plays out today in Helper. Many of the coal mines that originally fueled the economy of the town have slowly closed their doors. But the beauty of the setting and the promise of adventure have brought others here, artists looking for inspiration amid the quiet, tranquil beauty of Utah.
This community inspires art. We have a lot of painters here in Helper and a lot of galleries, and I lived in big cities most of my adult life, and I never had a volume of visual artists around me like I do here in Helper.
Living in a small community like Helper, at least for me, is that there are very few distractions here. It's very simple to get things done. An artist, in order to, I think, to become significant, really kind of needs to get to know themselves more than anything, and this is a good place for it.
Helper has become the muse of many artists in the area because of its serene landscapes, but those same landscapes offer more than just a view into a picturesque work of art. Here, trails lead to historic sites and difficult challenges. Right in town, improvements to the Price River are underway, which will broaden opportunities there as well. The river is just the tip of the iceberg, though, as outdoor adventure has become the focus of what Helper can become in the years ahead.
We've looked into the future for expansion, both for residents and for people that we can hope to draw to the area, which hopefully will tie into the river restoration project that we're doing. Eventually, when the river's done, we'll be having areas that are designed for fishing, areas that are designed for kayaking, some adjustable synthetic rapids that will be in place. Schofield is less than an hour from here, where you have ice fishing, you have boating. It's a year-round recreational opportunity. Our ATV area is second to none, really. There's so many different things you can see within a day's time. You can leave from your door here to go recreate on your ATV, to go fish. And we have a lot of draw for history.
I can ride my ATV to work. I pull into Main Street Helper, and it's like, I really literally thank God every day for blessing me.
Trails branch off from Helper into the hills, leading to surprising waterfalls and pieces of architecture unique to an area with a deep history of mining and railroads. Old cabins stand as sentinels in the brush, reminding of hard times and harder people who made this part of the West what it is today. These trails are literally right off Highway 6 in Helper, but if you're willing to travel a bit farther, the San Rafael Swell is just a half-hour away, opening up a world of discovery unmatched anywhere else. Lodging is available in Helper, which makes accessing trails fast and easy. Life really does imitate art, and here in Helper that definitely is a good thing, particularly if you want something new, maybe something a little different, but thrilling and inspiring nonetheless.
There's a lot to do, but there's a lot to see.
I moved here 9 years ago to take care of my grandfather. He lived till almost 100, and he often said, "I'm really sorry for making you give up your life." And I said, "You gave me a life, because I found Helper, I found Carbon County, and what a place."
From Helper, Utah, I'm Stephen Human for At Your Leisure.
In a place that is beyond words, there is nothing to be said, except take your time in Bryce Canyon country.
Head Everything you thought you knew about off-road vehicles is about to be redefined. Introducing the world's first and only pure sport side-by-side, the all-new YXZ 1000R from Yamaha. The world of off-road sports side-by-sides has shifted forever. Now, get no interest for 6 months on a new Yamaha ATV or side-by-side.
Get your new Yamaha at Steadman's Recreation. Ride hard, play hard.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
Welcome to this month's product review for Race City RV. I'm your At Your Leisure guy, Chad Booth, and we are looking at the Cameo. This is the 38FL. So first, let's start about talking about this trail air hitch up here. This has a large rubber stabilizer in it that actually absorbs some of the shock or some of that jacking that happens when you are driving. And so it smooths out your ride a little bit. You know, a lot of people will always tell you, my trailer's my home away from home. Well, is it really? Because trailers are usually small, they got one little door on them, you got no way to get out. But not the Cameo. Look at this, it's got a front door and it's got a back door. For those fans who've actually been watching these reviews for a while, you know that I usually tend to give a little hint about the motorhome at the beginning. And I said, every now and then it's good to kind of mix things up. Well, that's what they have done with this Cameo, because usually this is your living room and it's attached to the kitchen. This time they've separated the kitchen and the living room is up here in the nose. This creates like two conversation areas in your public area of the trailer, and I think it's got a lot of potential. Come on up, make yourself at home. It's real cozy up here. You know, the more I sit down in this living room, the more I realize how truly likable this is, because it is a very intimate space. You have dual slides that push out on either side, and this also serves as your bunkhouse area because you've got two hide-a-beds that fold into the center, and you can almost make wall-to-wall bed up here. Got a center island, two very deep sinks in it, I mean really deep sinks. You've got your cooking area here. You've got a convection microwave, propane below, double fridge, and if you do your cooking off of the TV or the Food Network, you got a TV right here so you can follow along with the Galloping Gourmet. What you do get by moving the master bedroom to the back is a lot of ceiling height. This will give you that ceiling height that will give you a lot of space. You can also use the bed as a trampoline because there's enough room there. Well, that's it for our product review for this episode for the Race City RV product review. We'll look for you next time. And if you really want to take a look at this unit, then I would suggest the best way to do it is run out to Race City and Roy and ask them to take you on a tour of the Cameo.
Race City is the only dealership I'll ever deal with. I know almost everybody that works here. When I walk in here, they know exactly who I am. They call me by my first name. They're just a group of fun people to work with. It's a good feeling to walk in a place that knows who you are. They do everything they can for you and it takes care of you. They're just a fun group of people. Race City is the only place you need to go to get an RV.
dominate every trail, conquer any task. You need a machine that does it all. Introducing Polaris General. The General is the most powerful rec utility side-by-side ever made. The industry's deepest cargo box lets you haul and dump up to 600 pounds, and the revolutionary cockpit totally refines comfort and protection. Polaris General, ultimate versatility to win every battle.
Let's be honest, you don't know much about Beaver County. Well, let me tell you about it. It's the birthplace of outlaw Butch Cassidy and inventor Philo T. Farnsworth. Some of the best skiing in Utah is at Eagle Point. You've got camping, Canyon Breeze Golf Course, Crusher and the Tushers Beaver Territorial Courthouse, snowmobiling, Renewable Energy, Pioneer Car Show, Squeaky Cheese, Ghost Towns to explore, best water in the country, Paiute ATV trails, Old Frisco Kilns, horse races, hunting, fishing, and it's a good place to live. Beaver County, mountains of fun. I could tell you more, but why don't you come and see it for yourself?
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We're here in Vernon, Utah, just south of the reservoir. And we're up here in the hills playing around. And you know, sometimes it's not just about what the machines can do or what you can do. You know, it's kind of, you know, being with other people and bonding with them and really enjoying the time together. Because, you know, when you get a machine stuck up to the axles, it's when you really find out the character of somebody, you know, whether they're willing to help you get dug out or what they're willing to do.
You know, every time I've been with Bruce, it's been an adventure. And even though sometimes we've taken the same trips, you know, the stories, the events that happen that day, they're never the same. And that's one thing I enjoy about Bruce is he knows lots of stories, he's had lots of experiences, and he's very willing to share those with everybody. Perfect stranger. See, he's not a stranger to anybody.
Coyotes do that zigzagging stuff because they're always looking for stuff and smelling. See that track's going all over the place? A lion will be a wider span and it kind of goes more straight.
It's like going out on a trip with Daniel Boone.
Whenever you're with Bruce, he's always looking to see what's crossed the path, whether it be a bobcat, a coyote, or a mountain lion. Today we thought we saw a few mountain lion tracks. We got off and looked and they were coyote tracks.
You guys been fishing.
Oh, so these are human tracks?
These are human tracks. See, it's round, it has no toenails, and it goes in a straight line, and the stride is about 2 feet, 18 to 2 feet, and it's almost straight in the stride.
He can really show you the difference in the tracks and things like that, so that makes it a lot of fun. And of course, when you're out getting stuck together and having a good time, it's always fun.
We're high centered.
It's really fun to come out and play in the snow, especially with the razors. I know a lot of people put them away for the winter, which is a huge mistake because you can come out here, you can wing it around, slide around, and you're not tearing anything up because you're just throwing snow around. And the nice thing is when you do get them stuck, if you've got a couple guys, they can pretty much pick the thing up and get it out of where you've gotten it stuck. So it's not like a Jeep or something where you got to hook up the winch or you got to do some other things like that. Typically, it's very easy to get them unstuck. They usually are just high-centered.
Especially with the machines we have now, they're side by side. You can sit and you can look at each other. You can talk a little easier than maybe on a four-wheeler where you're separated. And it gives you quality time to talk and be with that person. We actually have maps in the dealership of Tooele County where some of these roads are that are free. People just need to come pick them up. So I'll be telling people more about what's out here and what my experience has been like with Bruce today.
Well, I think this is about as far as we're going to make it today. What do you think, Greg?
I think we're there. I think we're there.
Push harder. Come on, Bruce. Well, right now we need to get to our trailhead adventure brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC.
I'm Reece Stein, at your leisure, in the Kingdom of Morocco, in the Sahara Desert, on a camel safari. And it's the Sahara for crying out loud.
It's the freaking Sahara in Morocco, and we're riding camels. I mean, it's awesome.
It's a fantasy come to life. To be in Africa, in the Sahara Desert, riding a camel. This is beyond bucket list stuff.
Who would have thought we would have been in the Sahara with these beautiful animals?
Liz, Maria, Marianne, and I are 4 of 15 Americans on tour in Morocco with overseas adventure travel, and this is maybe the highlight of many highlights over our 2-week odyssey. The Camel is the Cadillac of the dunes, and the ride is just as smooth, at least at a walk.
Thought it was amazing.
Why?
Great way to see the Sahara and see how their life was like. It really was wonderful.
What's it like riding on the Camel? How does it feel? Comfortable or what?
Smooth, actually, quite comfortable.
Their massive feet have evolved to handle the soft Sahara, and their ability to go for a couple of weeks without water has made them invaluable in this arid desert. And no, they didn't spit at anybody.
I was delightfully surprised. I actually had a little trepidation about the camel ride because I'd never ridden one, but it was so the words, there really aren't words to express it, but the being in the dunes and the kind of loping of the camel and the vistas, the blue sky, the wind, the sand undulating on the other dunes. It was just an incredible experience.
The ride ends all too soon, but more adventures lie ahead. Their work done for the day, the ships of the desert gracefully glide into the wilderness in a scene right out of a National Geographic special. This is the home video version. Lots of four-wheeling opportunities throughout the Sahara dunes. And along the way, we stop at a lush date palm garden quenched by a unique aqueduct system bringing water from far-off mountains. There is life in the desert. We visit the Pigeons of the Sahara, a group of darker-skinned Africans who fled slavery and torture in lands to the south to find peace in Morocco, and a barren, humble plot where some Saharans have found permanent peace. We pause to visit a Tuareg Bedouin woman who has set up her camel hair tent in a lonely stretch of this endless landscape. Her name is Khadija, and she invites us in for tea, apparently a mandatory Moroccan tradition, even in the most humble of circumstances. Our Moroccan guide translates and tells us she has no husband, but 8 children who shy away from us, sheltered from the desert wind behind a storage hut. Khadija is combing camel hair and spinning long strands, which she will weave into rugs or shelters to sell in the market. She has camped close to a water source. Close? A 2-hour walk. She'll graze her goats here for 4 months before moving with the rains to find greener pasture. Morocco is in a persistent drought.
I can't imagine what it's like to live under those circumstances. And the next day, after a huge sandstorm, we were shocked and really happy that she was alive and the other women in the tent and the children were okay.
Oh yeah, the overnight sandstorm. Thought it was going to blow our tent camp to Timbuktu. But the dawn brings calmer winds and we're able to frolic in the dunes at sunrise.
Much more graceful than I did it.
Oh, I was going to say, I have big feet like a camel. Why can't I make it up the sand dunes?
The Sahara is to hot deserts what the Amazon is to rivers. It dwarfs all others. 3.5 million square miles, the size of the U.S. and China combined, stretching from the Atlantic to the Red Sea.
The undulating sand dunes with the sky and the sun rising in the background, it's awe-inspiring, and I'm overwhelmed.
A seemingly infinite landscape of larger dunes, smaller dunes, but mostly black, gravelly, tabletop flat hardpan called hamada. The Sahara is geology, but it's also emotion. A desert, sure, but unlike any other on Earth. In future programs, we'll have more from Morocco, for it is much more than just the Sahara. This is Morocco, and this, and this. A land full of twists and turns, of spectacular highs, and warm, welcoming people.
Well, as the sun rises over the Sahara, we end our Moroccan Odyssey. I'm Reece Stein, at your leisure in the Kingdom of Morocco.
There are certain types of people out there who put everything to the test. For them, we built the Can-Am Maverick XDS with the first factory-installed turbo. It delivers 121 horsepower, impressive suspension travel, and exclusive Fox shocks. It's engineered to ace any test, including yours. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
Accommodations for this week's episode of AYL were provided by the Red Lion Hotel and Conference Center on Bluff Street in St. George. Great ambiance, great rooms, great breakfast. To find out more and to book rooms for your family, call 435-628-4235.
The Utah Farm Bureau has always been there to fight for the needs of its members. With discount programs on items ranging from vehicles and ATVs to health and wellness. The membership fees aren't big, but the results are. We've been around since 1916, and we're not leaving anytime soon. Utah Farm Bureau. We work for those who work to feed the world.
Have you ever wanted to go on a vacation to Mars? What about a visit to the Old West? Impossible, right? Well, forget what you think is real. In southern Utah's Kane County, other worlds are just an ATV ride away. The Old West lives on in every sunset. From the downtown streets of Little Hollywood to the vistas that have inspired the world. Never find yourself closer to home and yet farther than you've ever been. Southern Utah's Kane County, where anywhere is possible.
Well, welcome back to At Your Leisure. You know, when you're out wheeling, you never know what you're going to find, especially getting some of these small towns. We got down here and found this monster truck with an AYL sticker on it. So we've got a challenge for you. The first person that comes down here and takes their picture in front of this monster truck, it's out front of the Silver Sage restaurant and gas station down here, and post it on Facebook, we have a fabulous prize. It's a $400 gift certificate to RiFab. And RiFab makes all kinds of accessories for your side-by-side. They make toolboxes, roofs, windshields, all that kind of stuff, and so you can pick out what you want. Right now, we need to talk about the Tri-state OHV jamboree going on in Hurricane, Utah. It's March 10th through the 12th, and you can go down there with your side-by-sides, your 4x4s, and there's tons of trails to go out and ride on. You're going to have a great time. We're going to be down there, so come down and join us. Bring your side-by-sides or your four-wheelers, and we're going to go out and go on all kinds of trails and have a great time soaking up the wonderful sunshine down in southern Utah. It should be a great time. The other thing we want to talk about is our Razor 4 900 we're giving away. Get into the dealers, whether it's Weller's, Steadman's, or Triple S. Get into one of those dealerships. They have the sign-up boxes in there now, and you can sign up to win. You can also like us on Facebook. So, and if you go to each dealership, you get extra entries for everyone you go to. So get into Steadman's, Triple S, or Weller's and get signed up for that Razor because we want to send you home with it. Also, come down here, get your picture taken in front of this monster truck and post it on Facebook, and we'll send you home with some fabulous prizes there as well. Now, let's take a look at next week's show.
Chad and Rhea are putting the dude in Dude Ranch as they find a winter destination with good old-fashioned farm fun. From there, we'll go deep in the powder to show that winter still has plenty of strength left if you're in the mood for excitement. It's all here on AYL in 1 week.
Well, this looks awesome. We're here at the Silver Sage, and thanks to Bruce and Greg for taking us out today. We've had an awesome time.
It's the cook.
Yeah, she made this awesome lunch or dinner for us. It was supposed to be lunch, but we spent all day playing. So just remember, you need to get out and create your own adventure at your leisure. But right now, we're gonna shoot. I forgot about the animal thing. Dude, don't kid yourself. That snow ain't deep. With the AYL sticker on it. Now let's take a look. Crap!
Hi, I'm Chad Booth from At Your Leisure. I hope you just enjoyed the YouTube video that you just watched. Now, remember, we come up with new videos like this every single week, so you might want to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a single story that we have out. Now, you can also share us with all of your friends on social media. Here's how to do it right here. And that way, they can have fun too. If you want detailed information, we of course have our website, AYLTV.com, and from there you can find out which television stations we broadcast on, so you never have to spend a day without your fix of family-oriented outdoor recreation adventure. Plus, don't forget we have really cool contests.